What's going on, you guys? I'd like to welcome you guys to the channel. It's your boy Big Dog back with another one take review. Today I got, oh God, I'm so tired of recording off this phone. it annoys me every time I look at it. But today I got one for STARGIRL season 2, episode 12, the penultimate episode right before this season finale. Once again, the show does what I like for it to do. It gives you those character moments. It builds up on things. It gives you some real intense stuff that I wasn't expecting to see. Some stuff you've been waiting to see from characters. We finally get well, not reunion, but the meeting of Beth and Chuck. We finally been waiting on that. They finally got it, and I think it definitely lived up because like she was super excited. It was kind of weird at the same time though because I know he's just like, okay, hey, I'm happy to meet you. But like you're like a young girl, so like okay, let's like cool. Let's see how things go. And he's like, you just call me Chuck. Like they seem to have a real friendship, and I think this kind of, I don't want to say it's weird, but it is just for people. It's hard for people to like just understand that some people could just be friends with others. So, but the main thing though is Eclipso. Because I kept wondering, like, what is Eclipso trying to do? You know what I'm saying? What is his whole plan? And he's pretty much trying to like get to the point where he's all powerful. You know what I'm saying? And the last person he has to break is Court. And Court still like in her own head. She's in her head, and it's not just because of that. It's also with like things she's dealing with on the outside. Okay. The one person you had to get to was her, and she had that conversation with her mother. She's just like, yo, mom. And I thought this scene was great. It was the one she was talking to her mother about like her being raised at, that her mother having to be a single mother or whatnot. And like the stuff that she didn't get to do. And Court really felt like, because obviously Eclipso showed us that scene where her mom was talking about him. Or talking to her, just saying like, hey, I could have did this, I could have did that if I would never had you. And you get that moment where Court just feels bad. She like, even though her mama like, Court, listen, I still got to do everything. Like I wouldn't give up the time that I have to spend for you. I wouldn't get it up for nothing. Like what are you talking about? This Court is just so distraught though. She just thinks to herself, like, man, I'm the reason that everything happened. First of all, because she already got hit with she's the reason everything happened to her friends. Now she getting this like thing about her mom. It's just all tough. One of the oddest things though, in this episode is the fact that you just have Cindy walking around. Okay, Cindy. But here's the thing that I really enjoyed about Cindy is the fact that Barbara kept getting on to Cindy constant. And like Barbara's just a kind person in general. I think that's where Court gets it from. Like she just has a kind heart. Even when she's mad at somebody, she doesn't really know how to let it out. You know what I'm saying? She says it's just like she still kind of feels like she's saying it in a nice way, but Cindy never disrespected Barbara. Not once. She just kept complimenting her constantly. And she saw the relationship between Courtney and her mama. Because that's one of Cindy's weak spots, is her mother. And she thinks about like what happened between her and her mother and her and them killing her mother. So that's forever something that lives with her. But like I said, it's a big regret that she has. And I'm kind of wondering, will she get over it? Now, one of the worst things Cindy does is in this episode, she's like, hey, your friend Yolanda, she has things like she's tapped into her dark side. You haven't yet. You know what I'm saying? You have to get rough. I'm just like, no, like, that's not what you need to do, Court. That's literally what Eclipso wants. Okay, because before that even happened, before that scene even happens, Court goes, try to get Yolanda back. And she tells Yolanda, hey, the last person who had on the Wildcat suit, they killed somebody too. So it's not just you. It's not the best advice, Court. Like, I think Court is in a moment where she's panicking. She's trying to say whatever she thinks she will work to get Yolanda back because it's her best friend. She misses her. All of that. It's just not working though, Court. Like I said, that wasn't the best thing to say to try to draw your friend back in. Like, oh yeah, the other person who wore it killed people. Just like, well, but that doesn't make me feel any better, Court. That just means it's a bad suit and everybody who wears it is terrible, But we end up Yolanda ends up coming back because Yolanda has a conversation with Cindy. And Cindy brings up Henry and a moment that not even, I don't want to say a revelation, but something that I've been waiting for them to address. From the first, I don't know, first episode, but whenever we got Yolanda's backstory and we found out about the picture that got sent around, we knew that it was Cindy because when Yolanda was on stage giving a speech or whatever, we saw Cindy go in her phone, and then everybody started getting to take, the picture of Yolanda. It wasn't Henry. I don't know why Henry didn't ever like tell Yolanda though, or like, yo, that wasn't me. He just pretty much took the blame. I don't know why he would take a bullet for Cindy. I know, you know what I'm saying? Cindy wasn't his girlfriend at the time or anything. They were cool, but like I didn't understand the reasoning behind that. But she finally told him. Henry's already dead and everything. But it's like, yeah, that was me. And so Yolanda only comes back to help Court is because Cindy's there. And she knows, like, she can't trust her. Like, at a moment's notice, this girl's going to backstab you. But I'm here with you for now. I'm still mad at you. Court just like, okay. Court, she was just so happy, though. She just like, I got her back. It's weird. She coming back for, like, the wrong reasons, but I got my friend back. So Court ain't even really, like, tripping. You know? But back to the scene with those two, Courtney and Cindy. Cindy is trying to push off her, who she pretends to be, on the court. Because that's not, I think deep down, that's not Cindy. We've seen this. She still has issues when she thinks about her mom. She hates what her dad did to her. And even her stepmom, who she mistreated a crazy amount. When Eclipso killed her, she felt bad about that. Because, once again, one thing, it reminds her of what happened with her mother. So that's not who, deep down, Cindy is just a little girl who did something traumatic as a child and never had nobody to confide in growing up. And even like the black friend that she had, I don't know what happened to her. Then she thought she was cool with Court, then Court dipped on her for Cameron. And it's always just been her and her dad. She never connected with her stepmom like she wanted to. She's never really had nobody to deal with these issues that she had. So now she thinks her way is going to be the way to beat Eclipso when it's the exact opposite. Court is going to lean into that side Cindy's telling her to, and it's going to be bad for literally everybody. Another thing that we had happen in this episode is that Jade Ring gets infected with something from the Shadow Realm, all right? Shadowlands, I'm thinking Yu-Gi-Oh, my bad. But the whole thing about that is, it's pretty much showing Jade what's to come if, I think Jay's going to be the person that has to save Court. But I don't think it's necessarily going to be that entirely. I think it's going to take the combined efforts of all of them to get things in order. Because there's no way it can just be Jade, because Jade and Court don't really necessarily know each other that well. We have Mike rolling with Jakeem. Jakeem didn't really have any friends. They're dealing with the stuff with Thunderbolt. They have giant hamburgers falling out the sky. Which I'm happy they brought him in. I was wondering when they was going to finally get Jakeem in on this. And I think Mike's going to actually have to teach him, hey, you have to be very, very careful how you use your wishes with this guy. And we didn't really get too far into that just yet, but I think it's coming. I think right now we just focus on, even though we don't have one episode left, this episode tried to focus in on Mike and Jakeem, you know what I'm saying, them becoming cool, because both of them are kind of like in the situation where they really don't have anybody. Jakeem, it seems like an outsider, and Mike has kind of been neglected from his family a little bit. So hopefully they can help each other in that. One of the last things is that Eclipso confronts Chuck and Beth. And they thinking, man, I love how they can see who he really is through the glasses, other than the Gordon kid, who I absolutely hate. Okay, I absolutely hate him. No lie, Eclipso, the man version with the stuff, he's great. You know what I'm saying? He's cool. Well, I ain't gonna say he's great. He's cool because he ain't seen him that much. But the kid version, that's the version you hate right there. Okay, that's man. Ooh. He reminds me of a Joffrey from Game of Thrones, man. You just kind of want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Bro, he gets to me every single time in just a little voice. That's what I want. I just punch him in the face, man. Somebody. Ugh. But I like what it's leading to. I like where we're headed to. Court's gonna be put to the test. I think our friend's gonna have to bring her back. I don't know how they're gonna capture Eclipse or what they're gonna do. I think he's gonna really need the light of Court to shine through. And I'm still like Starman has to like roll around sometime. Like we saw him on his way and that was it. Like Starman has not been a part of this season at all, and that's crazy because like that was one of the cliffhangers for season 1. At the end of season 1, and we saw him on his go talk to Pat X and try to see where they at now. It's just like, and that's it. We haven't seen anything else of them. We have the story with Jade. I feel like there's somebody I am leaving out. There was a scene where Pat, I don't know, Pat showed his dark side. And I was thinking, is that Pat or Eclipso? Seemed like that was all Pat. Because Pat just like, yo, your sister entrusted you to take care of this kid, and you didn't do that. As a matter of fact, like Pat just really low key. Like Pat was trying to be cool at first, and then it's like he broke and he said, you know what, I'm tired of this. You in this hospital bed off the wall. I don't know what Pat did to her. Pat might have tortured that man. That man might need to call the police on Pat because I think Pat had to get his point across because he got to get Rick out of jail. I wish we'd have had more of like a moment between like the JSA, you know what I'm saying? Like for them all to like be reunited. But I think that's going to have to happen at the end of the season. Only reason I say that is because Yolanda's still not fully in. Rick's still dealing with some stuff. But I think it's going to happen toward the end of the season. I don't know necessarily who's all the players going to be involved because I don't know if the show is just building this world right now or everything has to come to an end by episode 13. Because if it is, that's a lot of stuff they're going to have to cover and it might feel a little clunky. Because you still have Rick and Solomon Grundy. We don't know if Grundy going to show up. We have Cameron. You know what I'm saying? Is he going to find out the truth about his father? Like I said, Jade and her little brother who was actually at the, what's her name? And they lied to her. Beth and her parents possibly getting divorced. Starman. Like there's a lot of different storylines. I don't know if they're building towards the end of all of them or they just pretty much hinted, kind of like how Invincibles did with this first season. They gave you a lot of different things, but only the main thing came to an end and it just gave you hints for the next season as to where the other ones are going to go. And that's kind of how I want to go because I don't want them to try to close out all these storylines literally in one episode when like that episode should be focused on Eclipso, you know what I'm saying, and then him versus the JSA. But or whether they win or not, I don't even know how this is gonna go. I don't even know if I think they're gonna lose. I mean, are they gonna win? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like up in the air for me right now. But overall, you guys, let me know what y'all thought about the episode down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching the video. I thought the episode was great. I'll catch up with you guys later, man. Peace.